Welcome, everybody. This is the Transform You Media Network in collaboration with the World of Ability Podcast Network. And we are adding to the dimensions of this project. We now are aligned with the pACT channel. That is lowercase p, capital A, capital C, capital T, the pACT channel, packed full of value. Welcome, everybody. This is the Transform.
Yeah, we are now with, as of a couple of days ago, we are collaborating with the World of Ability Podcast Network is collaborating with Zach Clayton and his pACT podcast. And which is just gonna be exciting. And the podcast more or less will probably change over to StreamYard from Facebook, or not from Facebook, from Zoom, StreamYard to Zoom, or from Zoom to StreamYard. I can't talk today. And I'll be live streamed from the it'll be also live streamed. Be live streamed through Zach's podcast, and I think there's a couple of things you need to work out yet, but about our live streaming or not, but so yeah, that's the most recent development that we have had. Also, we had our big 222 to Save 22 event yesterday. And I think overall it went well. I think overall it went well. Mother Nature did decide to put a little bit of a damper on it with giving us some ice and snow, summer, winter weather, but that just didn't stop us from still having the event. And we also had Zach's and Jennifer is here. You're on mute, Missy. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm on mute. Okay, just kidding. I was laughing and I said, "What are you kidding me for being late? I'm always early. It's just
I was like, I was gonna say you're a minute late, Missy. Or should I say 15 minutes?
Well, I mean, I was on time. I just realized your text because I wasn't monitoring my email. But I saw your text saying that you sent me the different room. So I was technically on time, just in the wrong room.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll forgive you this time.
Well, I started that email. You know how Gmail works? We can like start and it stays at the top. So I did that so that if you decide this is like the new regular room, I'll have easy access without you sending it over and over.
All right. Oh yeah.
Is it just us today?
Kurt's coming. But as far as any guest, I think it's just us.
Okay.
As of right now.
That's right, because Kurt isn't one of us. No, just kidding.
But the most recent, I'm gonna tell you the most recent. I'm sorry I didn't say anything about this before now, but the most recent development is that we are collaborating with Zach Clayton.
You mean in the new podcast he's making? Because Zach and I have a deal where I'm helping him develop a podcast, and I going into like a partnership.
I don't know if it's necessarily in that direction, but we're kind of because I don't think we're really becoming partners. It's just our podcast and his are going to be kind of in sort of the same network.
So I know that now we're live right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So intending for listeners to hear this, I'm going to share that Zach Clayton's podcast is in development, if not officially started. He and I are following up on Thursday, tomorrow, February 24th. And the idea for that one was to be very similar to World of Abilities, 4 or 5 different talk shows. Okay. So it's the same, it's very similar in the sense of reaching out to those with disabilities and or who are support system members, like friends, family, whoever, of those with disabilities that want to hear very similar information, but he's hitting it from another angle. So it is not a direct competition to World of Ability, but I believe the reason for the joint effort is because you're reaching the same crowd, but you have different missions as far as your way of helping them. So I'm saying that to both explain to you, Emily, what could be possibly the logic of what you're talking about, but could also be an announcement to these listeners to check out, maybe search for Zach Clayton. I can put his name in the chat as long as they can see that, because it's not typically spelled, so they may not know him or, start find him.
And his he's only done like 5 or 6. He's done only a few so far. But it's on Wednesday.
Okay, yes. I have heard announcements that he was going to, but I did not hear that they actually happened.
Are we talking about the pACT podcast?
Yeah, we're talking about pACT podcast. I do not recall the name of it, but if he told you that's the name, can we make an announcement about that and put it in the chat for viewers?
Yeah.
Especially if it's hard to spell, like his first name that's unique.
So I'll put it in here. So it's a lowercase p, and then ACT is all capitalized. And it's the name behind it is actually a podcast all coming together. is what it stands for.
I don't see it in the chat. Maybe you didn't
Oh,
submit?
there we go.
Okay,
Yeah,
there it is. Okay.
enter.
No, I got pACT, right?
Yeah. Um,
That might be a bit helpful.
yeah. Lowercase p, and then the rest
Cool.
of the letters are capitalized. But it's Wednesday nights at 5 Mountain. So 5 this time. 6 Central. 7 Eastern. I'm sure. Jeffrey, he'd probably love for you to be on one of them once, sometime,
I know, right? Did you? You got disaster going on back there.
Yes. Not to speak for him, but I mean, if you're not busy during that time, sometime, I'm sure if you, I don't know.
Did I hear you say that Central Time is 5 p.m. Wednesday?
6 Central.
Are you sure it's 6 Central and not 6 Eastern? Because that's what I thought you said.
No, it is 6 Central, 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, generally I would be available, with the exception of if I have a student or something.
Yeah, time zones can get.
Because I'm right now. Right now, if I could make an announcement for those who would like follow my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, which I'm going to put my addresses in the chat. As of the last date of March, we're planning to launch my first audiobook.
Awesome.
Which is, for those of you who have already read any of my books or heard about them, it's the one we're going to try first will be our initial release. First time release will be the audiobook of How Do I Know God is Real, Volume 1. Plans are, after so many of you listening, put in your opinions, get your copy, and let us know what you think. That if many of you like it and we actually hear your opinion, to know that, whether you send on a message on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, and or call or text me, but somehow reach out to us, that we're thinking about book number 2, at least the way it's planned, will be, which y'all have heard of for a long time, like 2 years now, that's never been released, and we're going to first time release it. I would estimate to be somewhere around 6 weeks following the last day of March. So that'd be like mid-May, I'd estimate, without knowing an exact date. And that one will be Secret to Success, the Evolution of Public Education in the Workforce, that has never been released. Plans are, after that is released, we'll also wait for a while to see what all of y'all think, get opinions. And from there, I will have book number 5 completed, and it will also be first time released. Estimating to be about early July. That's somewhere in a 6-week period after the mid-May one. And that one is planning to be Philosophy of Life, Finding My Purpose. It's a Christian book. So we got that going on. And what's his name? Zach. Zach is talking about me being on there to make this announcement, as well as to welcome many of y'all. If you may listen to his podcast called pACT at the same time, as please continue to follow us on World of Ability podcast. You can hear some of the same people like myself, and as Emily was announcing, her as well, possibly Kurt, but he's not here to say yes or no. And you will hear Zach Clayton, of course, the main host and leader, owner, who many of you have also heard at least a couple times since I've been in the picture, starting in early November of 21. Maybe you've heard Zach Clayton on here a few times on World of Ability, but you will hear him all the time when you turn over to pACT, and we ask that you listen to both. Don't leave us. Don't leave him out, but listen to all of us. And you heard some of the same people, but we'll talk about different topics,
Hi, Kurt.
including my books when they're released.
Hi, Kurt.
Welcome.
Kurt, we were just talking about that. Jennifer's going to be coming out with her first audiobook coming up really soon here.
Excellent.
And I gave Lord the names of the audiobooks.
So there's going to be a few of them coming out over the next few months. So
Yeah, 3 between the first being the last day of March. I forget if it's a 30-day or a 31-day month, but it's the last day of March. And then that will be, second one will be 6 weeks later. That I'm estimating to be about mid-May. And then the third one will be 6 weeks later. That I'm estimating to be about the end of July. Or maybe it's the end of June. Anyways, somewhere in that time frame, June and July. So those will be 3 audiobooks. And I already have a few parts of the first one done by a vocal artist. Emily and Kurt, y'all may both know, what's his name? Steven. Oh, well, he's from Happy Network, Happy Neighborhood. What's it called? He has another tutoring called Make the Grade. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Stephen
Green.
Stephen Green, that's it. So he's the one that I'm contracted with. And so technically it's his company doing it via a vocal artist that works for him. That's making the audiobook.
Awesome.
But he gave me different recordings by different vocal artists that he manages. There's in some different department or however that is with his business structure, but work for Make the Grade. And I got to pick the voice that I liked, which I was very pleased. This one particularly, I got to say thank you to Pat Kennedy. She's a vocal artist doing this book. And she actually agreed with me when I proposed the idea. Well, if I kept you working back to back, with consistent projects, like what I just announced about the next 2 after the one she's doing, that she'd give me a discount. And so definitely she's a good businesswoman in addition to a great vocal artist. I actually asked her to make it. I asked her to make it like What's Good for Us Autistics, which is very soft delivering and like soft toned, instead of be like harsh or excited or whatever else. And she sent me, I think it was like 4 or 5 samples. They were reading my same book, but in different ways. And as funny as it is, that when I thought too much excitement would be, too much for me, ended up that's what got my attention the most. So that's what I chose.
Well, this is awesome. This is exciting.
Yeah. I liked how she put a lot of enthusiasm in the different events of whatever it was she was reading in that certain part. And when she put this different excitement or like a low tone of, and if only this or that, like it was appropriate for what's happening, like a happy tone, excitement, and discouragement kind of tone. And
yeah, the tone fits.
She plays live. I told her it was vocal acting. Vocal acting, because she's putting out the emotions. It's not that we as listeners would have to interpret to see what is the character feeling like or whatever was being communicated in the text. You don't have to interpret and try to figure out what's going on, but she actually brings to life at least the tone based on what's the mood of what's going on. So she's halfway interpreting it for you.
Yeah, you're on the tone to match what's going on in the story.
Right, like what's the appropriate emotion for it?
Yeah. But yeah.
But when this is released, we will post on all 4 social medias, which I'm going to share in the chat. And as soon as we can get a web designer to come on board, he will put it on our website, which I'm also going to share for those of you who may not know yet, or others, just to remind you.
Carrot. So, I was also, when she first got in here, was saying something about the collaboration with Zach
Yes.
and whatever. Do you have anything you wanted to say about that at all? I was saying it is our most recent development, and so on, about being StreamYard. But do you have anything you want to say about it?
Talking to Jennifer.
I was talking to you.
I'm pretty sure she's talking to you because I made some announcements about IB before you came back. You weren't even here to hear me, but I made announcements about my participation in it. Things I know that were just announcements about it to encourage people to continue to listen to World of Ability and to also subscribe and listen to pACT, as you may say, because of how they reach in the same group of people, the support system, family members, friends, and whoever of those struggling with disabilities, in addition to the people with the disabilities themselves that are coming from another angle than the World of Ability is, but to still help that same group.
Well, in the makeup of all this, well, we got the two of you, Emily on the podcast engineering, co-production, administration, executive assistant, wearing all hats short of captain. She hasn't achieved captain status yet, but she's captain in training. So maybe
the captain in training hat then.
Yep, the CIT, captain in training. So but basically it gives us a chance to build off of what Zach has created, getting into podcasting, which was a served project by World of Ability Podcast Network. We had those conversations before him getting started about doing such a thing. And so we inspired him to get to work and do way more than we talked about. We just inspired him, and then he just did his own research on StreamYard and everything going and running a successful Wednesday evening program. And so doing 22 hours of podcasting yesterday and changes with Prosperity Pathways just kind of opened up for, we needed a transition anyway, and he is obliging us in providing the pACT channel as an enterprise that he's unveiling and unfolding. And so we're well on the way to synergy between Transform You Media Network, World of Ability Podcast Network, and the pACT channel. We got the disability channel out there to boot that we work with. So hello, Mariana Waikiki. Where are you in your travels today, Marianne? And you are muted. You have that mute button going there.
Aloha and hola. I'm in Cabo San Lucas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
I'm in Cabo San Lucas.
Awesome.
So I'm off the sailboat.
Did you guys just get there? Did you guys just get there today, or?
No, we've been here for a week or so, and we anchored out there in front of the cruise ship, and it has been rocking and rolling, and just a lot of jet skis out there, and just a lot of zoo traffic in that marina. So I got an Airbnb condo. I just got a room right now, but that's my view. But I have it for a month, and hope to get a balcony, and make this my home for a little bit. So that's what's going on. What a 2-month journey. So glad to be here. So happy. And I just launched another app game up also too. Sorry, I tried to join you guys yesterday, but we've had problems on the sailboat with all the rocking and rolling, and our water tanks got a lot of plastic in it and got in the water pump. So anyway, how's everybody? And hope to be there tomorrow on HMP Ability. This will be my new casa in Cabo San Lucas.
Everything's been going well.
How's the weather in Wisconsin?
It's.
Am I bothering you guys?
I wouldn't say it's very boring. I mean, it's been
Sorry.
pleasant. I mean, I think it's been cold a few days just recently, but
we're talking
it's not like the weather where you are right now. That's for sure.
We're talking like single digits. You know, we woke up this morning to 8 degrees. And it went up. I mean, now we're at a balmy 22 degrees here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, we're former Michiganders, so we sailed in cold weather, and now we're here in the hot. So look at this view.
Well, I know here in Houston, Texas area, we were yesterday at something like 83 degrees at our high. But like today, our high was something like 49 or on the edge of 50, if not quite 50. And we woke up with it in the 20s, so ours is very undecided.
Ours can be too.
Well, something that my close friend Ed, who's a cardiologist, internal doctor, radiologist, and what was the other one? Oh, neuroscientist. Yeah, he's 4 types of specialists, medical doctor. And he was telling me how he knows, but he has to pick up on patterns as part of medical practice. And he was telling me how he knows also that in Houston, when it's the end of our winter season, that we'll have very warm weather sometime at the break of it, which is at the end of February or the beginning of March each year, somewhere in that time frame. And then before it's officially over and that 80-degree weather becomes normal, then we get a sudden freeze. That is when we know it's the end of our winter. I mean, not like by the date of the year when it's officially spring, but as far as our weather, and we got spring weather for the rest of the year. Until about the last 2 weeks of July and first 2 weeks of August, and we're always over 100.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we have a longer spring and fall than we do summer when you look at like how much time we spend over 100 degrees versus in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's a little bit more comfortable than, 110 and stuff like that we hit in those 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we only have really 1 month of a real winter, which is February. Well, like in December and all that we'll talk about all that being cold. You're talking about the highs being in the 50s or 60s. A lot of us is how keep our AC at. Like at my house, we keep it at 68. Others I know keep it at 65, 66, and so forth. So when it's outside somewhere around the same temp that you keep your house, you can't really say it's not comfortable.
Yeah,
but that's what our typical winter is. Yeah. Other than February, that's a really cold month where we get in the 40s and all that. We otherwise are in the 50s and 60s as our highs. And whether it was winter as far as like, after school starts and it's like September, October and all that through January. So that's why you see even now I'm wearing short sleeves. And Marianne, did you say you're in Hawaii?
No, I'm in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. Okay. Well, this looks like Hawaiian mountains, and I thought I remembered you living in Hawaii.
Yeah. And my neighbor in the sailboat, he left 2 years ago and sailed from Hawaii to Alaska to Canada to California. I joined him at Christmas, and we sailed down here to Mexico for 2 months. So
do you know this place called Autopilot Bookkeeping Company that's in Hawaii?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, being from Hawaii, I was curious because he tells me that the whole island, he lives on the big island in, what's it called? It starts with, oh, Honolulu. And he's been my CPA for something like 8 years. And he's been like a regular contractor that does my company's bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, all that stuff for like, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years, all this track. But he lives on that main island, the big one. And he says that it's only like 30 miles in diameter. So I thought, well, that can't be much of a big area because it's highly populated with houses everywhere. It's probably like a small town where y'all would have known each other.
Yeah.
His name's David
Yeah.
Stewart. So you might, I don't know if you know that name.
Yep, this is a new experience. So
How long are you going to be where you're at right now? Marianne?
well, my visa ends in June, and again, I turned 55 in August, and with my disability income, I would qualify for senior living anywhere in the nation, Hawaii. So I have the paperwork, and basically like living in a dorm room, but then it would be in winter, and I have the bus to get around in my church and all that. But I just thought, why not a change? And a lot of people that we know are moving over here because of affordability. And
Right.
so, yeah, I'm just kind of like in a Airbnb, but it's a condo. And they gave me the paperwork and said if I wanted to stay long term, yada, yada, yada. So I got in early. So when I talked to the lady, then hopefully I can move into something that was with a balcony. And if I like it, then we'll see. So, I'm grateful I got to do everything once. So, I'm not missing out. And, I got the goals. My other writer, Suzanne, is over on the other side of Mexico. And we're going to be writing the books. I got the app game. So I'm safe and I'm affordable. And I'm going to eat some burritos. And there you go.
Eat some burritos. There you go. Enjoy that one. Mexico.
Yeah, all the Mexican food.
Wait,
So,
eat this
the
too.
good news is that the resident manager, her husband has a fishing boat here. So there you go. I'm sure I'll have plenty of activities to do, but really it's Cabo is, we just see all the bars, the beaches and the spring breakers, we're retired yachties. So, and the thing when sailing down also too, a lot of the places and ports that we went to were closed because of COVID, beach bars and all that we were reading.
Oh, man.
To stop here and go here. A lot of those places were not in business. So I really, got to.
Did you say burnt? Or do you mean like as in they made a net loss and were forced out of business because they weren't profiting? Or versus burnt like meaning fire?
Right. Well, just COVID shut down a lot of the little local hut kind of businesses, so to speak.
Okay, so you're talking about burnt by like they lost money and they eventually ended up shutting down, as opposed to literal meaning of
Yeah. Well, there's nobody there. There's no tourists. There was
Right,
nobody really
right.
out. There's nobody out sailing. And we got into one port and they were hit by a hurricane in 2014. And we walked into got a little store. A lot of the other restaurants and stuff like that were closed. And we were in and out. And we sat outside on the boat and just read and relaxed and enjoyed it, and then went around some of the other islands. And now we're in, metropolitan Cabo San Lucas, and it's all beach bars and spring breakers and boardwalk, and it's a real zoo down here, so to speak.
Well, I couldn't.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when the spring break shuts down and hurricane season's coming, and the captain has to put his boat away too. So we'll see what happens over here.
But I was going to
But
say,
I'm checking it out. There's my visa, and I'm going to make it work. So I got projects to do. So I'm grateful. I got a little pool and hot tub. There's some senior citizens out there. So, but I'm on a dirt road though. It's mountainy, and it's, I see the water, but I'm used to being on the water. So it's just going to be a change, and we'll see what happens. So, and also I was really nervous too, because not being really that fluent in Spanish. I mean, I had some Spanish in college and we got away with what we needed to, but I was really like, man, single female here, but the resident manager speaks English a lot. So you know, and a lot of Canadians are down here. So, you know, we had our tour, and again,
I'm trying to escape the freezing cold, Canada, you know?
Yeah. So a lot of Canadians come down here. So, and I wanted to, we didn't make it to Puerto Vallarta. I wanted to see Pat Little, and who knows, I can take a flight over. I got a timeshare with Michael Del Toro. I was on his website yesterday, and it's his event. And, you know, you're sitting there at restaurants and all these Mexican singers come in and play the guitar, and I was like, ole. So grateful because we've had so much face-to-face interaction, and a lot of people aren't wearing masks. The captain had bought a little puppy, so everybody wants to come up and touch the puppy and all that, and just really grateful that we haven't gotten sick. So I'm like self-quarantine now, really, and that's it. So anyway, so
Well, I was on the comment with you, Marianne. You know how you were talking about how you observed all these businesses shutting down? Like, that's been a national problem here and not just in Mexico. And I think probably even a worldwide problem of a lot of businesses shutting down as a result of the pandemic. And like, one of my friends from Happy Neighborhood lives in Canada, and she says that the lockdown that we in the US went through in early part of 2020, she said Canada still is not fully out of that. They've just gone by like grade levels, as you could say, like levels of coming out. And they're at level 3 of coming out of the lockdown now. So based on that, I would believe, based on things she shared with me, that them being closed for 2 years, as far as the lockdown, with the exception of a few that in the last few months have been able to return to business, that they probably are hurting more in Canada because of businesses being shut down more, especially these small ones you're talking about, compared to America. That in the US we had, depending upon what state, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or maybe 3 months. But we didn't have what Canada did, where it's turned into 2 years of a lockdown. Right. We still thought we had it pretty bad in the US, but then now looking at this with the lady I know in Canada, they have to have it worse. And I don't know what was the statistics about Mexico, but I think that's a worldwide problem and not just what we know of in our own country, based on what you said.
Yeah, where are you at?
Houston, Texas metro area.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, this was an opportunity, a lifetime of a journey, again, to sail Mexico, and working on my Fiverr app games and with Happy Neighborhood projects, with all the transactions of business that I have done. And Dr. Liddy, especially being trademarked, I acquired a lot of frequent flyer miles. So I got a free trip. I don't want to say everything was not free, but it all worked out for me to come and stay, and met some other people. And even being in this Airbnb, my friend's sailboat as an accountant, and I just said, I'm not writing a rental check to a homeowner now, because I was on a boat myself and the boat sold. But anyway, I'm acquiring miles on my own debit card for my own business. So I'm just looking at it that way too. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm working on the app games. I launched 2 more, and I got Suzanne to write the 3rd book with me. So I'll be following up with everybody. We got you guys now, so that will keep me busy in the morning.
So Marianne, on the topic of all this you're talking about, where you're venturing out, would you give, based on what you've shared today, would you give any advice to any of our listeners who may be on disability and, kind of wondering what to do with time, or what to do to kind of keep themselves occupied, or anything like that, that's based on what you're talking about? Would you give any advice to our listeners that may be similar to you and me?
I'm going to tell you, I got introduced to Fiverr, and I love them. So I am creating now coloring books, okay, with my characters, with the app game. And I'm going to put it up on Amazon as part of my book. So I'm making my own products, and I'm creating the books and all the app games to play it. And I see that as a profit. down the future. And so anybody can contact, like my Apple guy, he's like $300. So I became an Apple game developer now. And it feels really cool. I'm an author and an Apple app game developer.
Did you say $300
with characters with disabilities? So you could go and hire them, and for $300, they can create an app game for you about your business or anything like that, and then everything's mine is 99 cents. So that.
Well,
then
I need to hear about your app guy. I need to hear about your app developer, because I've been trying to make one, and some of y'all have probably heard me talk about last semester. I was in a course to learn how to, but that got interrupted when I was offered a job this semester after having to, on the 1st of January, close ACE my course. You know, that was my livelihood, and I had to shut those doors because it never returned revenue from February of 2020 through the last day of 21. It never got revenue again, but it kept its expenses, and so that had to shut down. And so I kind of ended up on the job market anyways, but I've been at the same time trying to take these courses, and if I could pay somebody $300 instead of like local people I know that are talking about 16,000, 30,000, and all these others, I'm like in a heartbeat to send that to whoever this is. If you'd share his information, if you're not,
No,
if you don't want
definitely.
then you've got my information to send it to me.
Yeah, you can go on my new website, Brian Roche. I hired him, and I'm paying him money to market my stuff. And we uploaded Dr. Finger spelling paragraph doing the sign language, and then you can put your logo on there too. So email me your information, your business, and I can put it on the slideshow as if you want to be a sponsor. And then it takes you to Apple to go play the game. And then with my Bank of Hawaii, I have a separate business account that opened, so I had to give that account information. And so when people go play the game, that money goes right back into my business. So guess what? Even though I know I'm putting out money, and I'm grateful because I got that PUA, I got the PUA assistance, and so I'm showing all that and the expenses. And this is going to be a different year, so we'll see what I have to pay this year on Social Security. But
so let's double dip here.
The money that I'm using, I feel like I'm not taking it out of my bank account because I'm putting it into my future 401k. So I need 300 people to play that app game, and I make a even. Then I make a profit. And Brian
that's what we call it. Yeah.
Brian knows that, and Brian knows how to bundle them and how we're
So
going to.
let's double dip here, okay? Share the information, your website, email, all that you're saying to contact, so both people viewing can have an easy way to look on the screen to shop for your game, and a way to contact you if there's anybody else interested in doing business in another way besides buying your game. And then if you put the other information, we can give listeners a way to reach you for games or whatever other interest. And I can have the information to contact you about when you and I've already started, and you and I can have a one-on-one.
Yes.
Because you want also viewers to see your website, and some people have to actually see it in writing to really know it, and the chat shows up in a recording. So will you please share that in the chat, all the information? Yes. And it's, again, it's marianneofwhite@gmail.com, send your logo. And the new website is Acts of Kindness, kindnessseries.com. So I changed it. So we added series now because I have a series of books and app games. And they're each chapter. So would you type that in the chat?
Yes.
I know you keep saying it, but some people just may even be like me myself. They need to see it in writing, or may have other people that are listeners but are deaf, so they can't, or hard of hearing, right? So we want to reach everybody.
Right. And so Brian's doing all the marketing, so I just got to get, it was the Acts of Kindness website. Now I've gotten used to Acts of Kindness series. So now that I'm off the boat, I'm still rocking here. But I can focus now and follow up with Brian, and yeah, it's all exciting. So I'm working on the coloring books, and have another designer. She can do business cards for $5. She's done the backgrounds, my rooms, and she can make me coloring book of that hermit crab for $50, and we can put it on Amazon. So again, I'm investing money in these Fiverr people who are making quality products from me to put onto Amazon for sale. Everybody wins. So now I haven't seen anything yet.
Especially if they pay you a share.
Huh?
Especially if they pay you a share for making it, putting on the podcast to, you know, basically market for them, you know?
Right. Well, the funny thing
Like a
is,
referral fee or something?
huh?
Like a referral fee or something? Hey, I got you all these leads, so how about I get, you know, $10 a lead or whatever small fee, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It'll come my way.
Make a deal with them and let's announce this again next time I see you.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just, again, you guys gotta think outside the box, and you know, like I said, paying for this Airbnb is also going back to business, and it's a business write-off, even though it may be a living situation for me, but I'm not writing a check. I'm just thinking
Right.
that way. It's all, and everything is all expensive, just like your bookkeeping. Fiverr has invoices, and I appreciate Kurt because every quarter I kind of would give him an update or had him do to go over things so I could show the productivity and so that I could be on track and accountable. That's great. And it just keeps going. So it's like Christmas work. Because I send this stuff to Fiverr and then 2 weeks I can have the next game.
Guys, I'm getting feedback. Like I'm hearing ourselves talk.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too, and I'm not sure.
I'm not hearing it.
I think it might be coming from your square though. So, but I just wanted to.
It could be me typing. I'm typing. Could that be it?
So Brian is redoing my website as well and the Facebook. I don't really do Facebook. And again, my intellectual property attorney, Dr. Lydia in Orlando, told me not to do anything or be public. And with this opportunity to do whale watching, how could I not pass it up? And then Brian and I talked, and Brian does small businesses and does advertising. And so he can create, we talked about creating a bundle of the app games for like $5.99. So you can play all these games. Because I have 2 books. So I'm gonna have a 30 app games so far. And to go with the chapters. Yeah, you read it and then you go play the game. And it takes you into more. So who would have ever thought? And then so he's doing all that. So I can't wait to sit down and talk with him now that I have internet for sure. And because I was off location and everything, and see what we can do and to get some exposure and make that all happen. And so that's it. So, but yeah. So yeah, I'll give you the information on Fiverr. Email me and I'll send you their links, or text me your phone and I'll send you the screenshot of who to contact with them. But anyway, so I'm working on the coloring books now with Dr. Fingers. We'll do the ABCs, ABC in Mexico, and she'll make a book and then put it up on Amazon for sale.
Hey, Marianne, what's the name of your newest app game?
Healing Vibes is a chapter. And the other one was Bad Karma with the voting in it.
Marianne, may I have your phone number? Because I just heard you say to text you and we could set up a time to chat, but I don't have a phone number for you, so that's kind of hard.
Sure.
But I mean, like, if you wanted to text me, you could see in the chat that I've already shared my phone number. So however you want to do that.
Sorry, it's 808.
Jennifer, if you wanted to save some money, correct me if I'm
I wonder, will you incur what?
Karen, his wife, showed me a way to that you can build your own apps. For free. Kurt, can you say something about that?
Yes, can you clarify, Kurt, please, if you're in the discussion still?
It's Glide Apps. Jennifer, you have something going on with your
Yeah.
computer
Yeah,
that you're not
do you have
playing
this?
the video.
Yeah, are you putting this video on another device or something? Because we can.
It's either you're
hear it.
playing the video of YouTube and we're hearing it that way, or your speaker system is causing that we're hearing, like as I talk, I'm hearing what I say come back through your microphone.
Interesting. I'll have that checked out, but there is no music going on, and I'm on my regular computer
Not
instead of
music,
headphones.
it'd be just the YouTube. Like Emily shared the YouTube video of this show, so I'm trying to figure out if you clicked on that and if that's playing in the background on your device and you're hearing it that way.
No, it's not playing. I didn't click on it. I highlighted it, and then I copied and pasted it, but I didn't click it.
Yeah, but somehow it got playing, or it's like
I don't know. I don't even have people on this thing, and neither am I on the YouTube website.
Well, then
I'm not an IT
your
person.
audio, because you started out the show fine, but now we're all hearing an echo. That when we talk, no matter if it's Emily, myself, or Marianne, the three of us are hearing ourselves talk, or the other person talk, and we're hearing the three of us come back through your microphone.
How can you blame it on mine? I'm not hearing y'all with any issues.
It's because when I talk, your box lights up. Like if you're listening to me talk, and it's even happening with the transcript.
Okay, let me mute it and then tell me if you hear it. Let me mute it and then say yes or no.
Okay, so now we talk and we don't. Now this is the sound that we need to have, because I'm not hearing my voice come back through because your video square is muted. We have good acoustics now. We have the right sound because you're muted. So you're going to have to do it like a walkie-talkie, that if you want to talk, you unmute. And if you're not talking, that you go ahead and mute, and you're going to have to go off and on for the rest of the show. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to find, let's see here, Glide Apps. I'm putting a link in the chat that I found from Googling Glide Apps. So I'm on glideapps.com, and this is where Sue has been able to make a basic. It's one of these sites where you can do a basic solution for free, and then they have a pricing where if you want to have more extensive capabilities. So they say a personal app is free, a pro app is $32, private app is $40, and an enterprise app custom packages that scale. So, but you can do simple mobile layout, 500 data rows, 1,000 sheet updates, public sign-in, 10% transaction fee if you're processing stuff through there.
Is that per month fees or is that one-time fees?
The 10% transaction fee is that if you're treating it like if people are buying your books or something, whatever your price is on the book, it's 10% forever.
But the what I'm looking at is the 30, 40, all that. Is that per month or is that one time to use it?
Those are per month, 32 a month, 40 a month, and so forth. So, but otherwise, what I'm talking about, the free app with the limited capabilities, and they brand the Glide app on your app, and then you get 100 megabytes of file storage. You get a glideapp.io domain, 10 pins per map if you're mapping anything. You get 10 different signatures, 100 Zapier actions. I'm not even sure exactly what that all is. And then community support in terms of other Glide app users able to help you figure stuff out that you're trying to do with the app. and then the other paid applications, have more capabilities. But
So I can tell you what the Zapier apps are. You said you're not familiar with it. Is anybody else familiar with the Zapier apps, or should I announce it?
well, go ahead. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. So apps that are not associated with one another, through a partnership you can do with Zapier, you can connect them, such as I have my phone calls connected through Zapier's partnership system with my Google phone number, which is what I use for business, attached and connected through a partnership in Zapier with my Google Calendar. So when I get a phone call or make a phone call, it shows on my calendar when and for how long it happened. So they have over 2,000 apps. They're not even related to one another. So it can be other stuff like I have this this program. It's another app called Referizer. Anyways, they have where for free I can have coupons posted on my website, and I put a code, whatever's my made up number, so my customers get the whatever discount on whatever product or service if they accept it. But in order to accept it, they have to submit their email so I can add them to my email list. Okay. And I have that partnered through Zapier with my MailChimp that does my email marketing. So it sends it over, and then they are added for, remarketing, like the email campaigns and whatnot. So Zapier is used to partner different programs, different apps that have no relationship, so you otherwise cannot connect them. Like one is that this one called Mini Chats auto responds to inquiries with set auto responses. There are different calls to action when somebody messages me on the messaging of my business Facebook page and so forth. So that's what Zapier is.
Well, that's cool. I just that was just an offer for the blind app thing. Gary, do you want to say anything about yesterday or IDH before I say anything?
And the filter, huh? Well, did you want to say anything about yesterday or IDH or anything?
Well, I started right before Jennifer came in, saying something about it.
So did you finish?
Not totally, no, but
Okay.
I don't remember what else I was gonna say. My train of thought from then.
Well, do you remember?
That's right. It's my fault.
Did you say how people can sign up for International Day of Happiness? Did you?
I didn't get to IDH, dude. Had just started talking about yesterday when Jennifer showed up.
When is that? Is that the 18th?
March 18th, yes. And the deadline for the early bird rate of $10 ends in 2 days. On February 25th. After Friday, it'll go up to costing $25. March 18th, the actual International Day of Happiness is on the March 20th, which is a Sunday, so that's why they're having IDH on a Friday. And there'll be a lot of speakers and speed networking and any stuff like that. Anything last quick, Kurt, before?
What's quick is in seconds, there's going to be H&P nonprofit happening. So you will see me disappear. Going to Happy Neighborhood Project free happy business networking on Zoom. Check it out at happyneighborhoodproject.com. Go to events, go to networking, check out today, Wednesday's schedule, and you'll find a spot where you can register to join us. If you can catch us within the hour, starting now.
And so anybody who is interested in attending the International Day of Happiness can go to happyneighborhoodproject.com/IDH to sign up. Anyway, yesterday, it's a big, it's a huge HNP event, so please come help support Happy Neighborhood Project. And yesterday, our 222 event, I think overall went pretty well. We had the 22-hour podcast, as well as the HNP Veteran Devotion, which we've gotten several positive feedback so far on this event. Yeah, especially with the veteran devotion, like it was really powerful. We had Edwin, Chief Happiness Officer, say a little bit, and we had a lot of different people throughout the 22 hours that were on Zach's podcast, and we are going back to we'd be calling this the Community IMpACT podcast, and I guess that's about it for the moment. Thank you guys for Marianne and Jennifer to join us. As anybody tuning in on the YouTube link, and a special thanks to Marcus Hart and the Transform You Media Network for allowing us to have this on their podcast or their platform. Thank you for the support. I think we're here every Wednesday, same time, same place. So we're welcome to join us anytime. If you are interested in joining us, you can contact me at emilygelmer1@gmail.com. And if you want to be a guest, either guest or help with moderating the podcast, always looking for new guests and help and for different things. So hopefully you guys can join us next week. So until next time,